Hello everybody. Welcome to the video on Credit Risk Analyst interview questions and answers from Career Right. Credit Risk Analyst is an important position at investment banks, rating agencies, government agencies, credit unions, financial services firms, insurance companies, asset management firms, fintech companies, NGOs, etc. The person working in this role helps the organization decide whether to extend new credit or withdraw current credit facilities provided to a customer. They help the organization mitigate financial losses, meet regulatory requirements, and maintain a strong reputation in the market. But during the course of performing their duties, they come across various situations and need some basic skills to deal with them. So, in addition to their financial knowledge, the interviewers also try to test them for their conduct during these situations. Let's see 5 important questions that have a very high chances of being asked at your interview also. If you're really serious about cracking your next interview, make sure that you watch the complete video without skipping any parts of it. Ready? Fantastic. Let's begin. Okay, so here comes our question number 1. Suppose you are a credit analyst working for a bank. An old and important client sent in a loan request, but your risk analysis suggests that the client will have a difficulty in repaying this loan. And this can be a risky investment for the financial position of the bank itself. How would you handle this situation? Now see, as a credit risk analyst, you'll usually come across tricky situations like this. It is your problem solving, decision making, and communication skills that are under test with this just one question. In such situations, the candidate is expected to consider various factors, such as the client's history with the bank, the reasons behind the loan, the current financial situation of the client, and the potential impact on the bank itself. And considering all this in situations like this, while on one hand you don't want to lose a big client, you can't jeopardize the financial position of your bank also on the other hand. You need a midway to handle such situations. So to answer this question, you can say something like, this is definitely a tricky situation, as we would neither want to lose the client by refusing the loan, nor risk the bank's position by extending a loan which we ourselves doubt the client can repay. So in such a situation, I would take the midway. I would calculate an amount that the bank can safely extend to the client. I would also talk to the client to understand their needs at various steps of the project and extend a smaller loan to them, which I believe they would be able to repay. I would also let them know the steps they can take to help me extend a larger loan to them at a later date, and would also let them know the next time we can meet to review the situation and consider the larger credit. So see, as I said at the beginning itself, in such situations, it is your problem solving skills, decision making skills, communication skills, all are under test at the same time. But these type of answers won't occur to anybody on the spot. You need to anticipate such questions and prepare to answer them. Okay, let's move on to question number 2 now. Suppose you work as a credit analyst for a large bank. Early one morning, you receive 3 urgent requests. The first one is from an old client seeking approval for a large loan. Another one from the sales team regarding a potential high value deal with a new client. And the third one is from the senior management requesting an immediate risk assessment for an investment opportunity. How would you decide which request should you prioritize? Now see, this is again a situation you would face many a times in your career. More than your answer here, what matters is your reasoning. So focus on why you would do the things in a particular order that you suggest. For example, if I were to answer this question, I would say my selection of which request to prioritize would depend upon their potential impact on the business. In this case, I would give first priority to the urgent request from senior management for a risk assessment or investment opportunity. This is because it has a direct impact on the organization's overall risk exposure and strategic direction. My second priority would be the urgent request from the sales team regarding the potential high value deal with a new client. This is because there exists an immediate revenue opportunity for the bank here. And my last priority would be the urgent request from the long-standing client seeking approval for a large loan. While I pay this case the prompt attention it requires, I would ensure that I don't overlook any credit risk assessment standards. Throughout the process, I would keep the stakeholders updated so that they are aware of what's happening and what to expect. So, this kind of critical reasoning would ensure that you are able to stand out from the crowd during the interview. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Imagine that you have just completed a detailed risk analysis for a potential client, and the numbers indicate a high risk associated with extending the credit. Not all the members of the management team can make a sense of what the numbers in the financial documents suggest. How would you make your presentation easy to understand for such team members to make correct decisions? Now, this is another important part of a risk analyst job, and it is to help people with non financial background make a sense of their analysis. The first need in this case is to explain everything in a layman's language, avoiding any jargons or tough financial terms. Secondly, try to relate those things to our everyday life. People will be able to understand them more easily. Breaking down the ratios into smaller, easy to understand terms would be the next thing that can help. Present your findings with the visuals like charts and tables and help people make a sense of them. The visual representation helps the people compare things. And lastly, explain the implications of extending the credit, how it can affect your bank's position, any alternatives that you suggest, they can also help. Letting people chip in with their comments, ideas, feedback can help all of you arrive at the conclusion as a team. Okay, let's move on to the fourth question now. Imagine you're working as a risk analyst in a global financial institution known for its proactive approach to risk management. In light of recent incidences like wars, pandemic, etc., that have the potential to impact the organization's credit risk exposure, how would you demonstrate your forward thinking mindset? Now, see, another important quality of a good risk analyst is the curiosity to look into the future and see how the global happenings would affect the risk portfolio of their organization. Being vigilant and responsive to geopolitical developments are the two important qualities the risk analysts need to possess. Your answer to this question should showcase your curiosity and a structured approach to take the actions. Both. For instance, you can say, if there were signs of escalating tensions or military conflicts in a region where my clients operate or have business interests, as a credit analyst, I should have the curiosity to assess the potential impact on their credit worthiness. For this, I would monitor the news sources, geopolitical analysis, and intelligence reports to gather information about the nature, scale, and potential duration of the conflict. I would also be curious to analyze the effect of this event on other important factors affecting the business, like local economy, infrastructure, supply chain, logistics, currency fluctuations, socio-political instability, etc. Communicating with the client to understand their reaction to the situation and their action plan to mitigate the risk on their business can also help me understand the situation more clearly. I believe a tailored guidance and support as per the need of the client can help them come out of such geopolitical situations, safeguarding their as well as the financial health of my organization. By staying informed, adaptive, and responsive to the global events, I can successfully minimize the potential impact on the credit portfolio of my bank. So, do you notice how I've used the terms like vigilant, responsive, adaptive, etc. in my answer? Risk analyst is an intellectual position, and the interviewers do expect you to use a professional language along with a well chalked off action plan. And this is what you have to communicate in your answer. Okay, now coming to question number 5, which is not actually about the situation but an important question which is usually asked to the risk analyst during the interview. And the question is, as a credit risk analyst evaluating loan application, what are the 5 C's of credit you would use in your day-to-day decision making processes? Now see, this question, as I said, is especially useful for the candidates working to evaluate the applications from individuals. To answer this question, you can say the 5 C's of credit is a system used by lenders to gauge the credit worthiness of potential borrowers. They are both qualitative and quantitative in nature. These 5 C's of credit about an applicant are: number 1, character, which refers to their credit history or their track record of repaying the debts. This information can be found from the credit reports of that borrower. The second one is capacity. It is the applicant's ability to repay the amount. Debt to income ratio is a good way to evaluate it. The third one is capital. It is the amount of money that an applicant has. A large capital contribution by the borrower decreases the chances of default. For example, down payment while buying the house definitely reduces the risk over the bank. The fourth one is collateral. It is an asset that can back or act as a security for the loan. The lender gets the assurance that if the borrower defaults, they can recover the losses through the collateral. And the fifth one is conditions, which means the purpose of the loan, the amount involved, and prevailing interest rates. So these were some important questions that can help the risk analysts during their interview. If you would like to see more conceptual questions on risk analysis and financial analysis, these videos that I have put up on the screen will be extremely useful to you. Do take a look at them also. The links are provided in the description box below. I sincerely hope that you have found today's video useful. Do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends also. For more such videos, subscribe to the channel today. I'll see you very soon with a new one. Till then, bye-bye and take care.